Hello, this is Jamaica Debut. I'm Mal, your Percy Jackson expert.
And I'm Julie, your newbie to all of this. I can't use any more sexual innuendos, so we're going.
Oh yeah, now that we know that my mom is listening, we have to calm down.
Yeah. Oh God, I totally forgot about that.
She did have an issue with the way that I said that I wanted to be adopted by Sally Jackson. Sorry to my mom, but I don't think I can take that one back. I meant that one.
Yeah,
Love my
no,
mom, but
that's a good
Sally
take.
Jackson. Maybe if you made more blue cookies, Mom.
Oh,
I don't know.
just gonna poison your blue cookies next time you go home. That's what's gonna happen.
Anyway, this is a podcast about Julie's first time reading Sea of Monsters.
Woo!
We're back.
Al has convinced me to read the second book. It's because I got jealous. I was like, because you were like, I could figure something out, maybe do a podcast with someone else. I was like, no.
You're like, absolutely not. I'm gonna be a part of this.
Yeah.
What did you get up to in your 4 weeks off?
You know how I said I wanted to read grown-up books?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I still haven't finished my first grown-up book of the year. It's taken me forever, but it's very good. It's just I've been lazy and I haven't been reading. It's The Trial by Franz Kafka. I'm like halfway through, but it's really good and it's not that long. It's like 250 pages.
About as long as this Sea of Monsters that we're about to take 6 weeks to read. So, you know.
I really need to hurry up and finish it. But it's good. It's a good book. Yeah. I would recommend. Franz Kafka is for the lover girls.
Throwback to when we said, oh yeah, even when you're off, like we'll still find a time to call each other. And then we absolutely did not do that. Like I think we discovered why people start podcasts, like because adult friendships are so terrible. Like you have to have an excuse to talk to each other.
Yeah, totally.
And so this is ours.
Yeah, absolutely.
Also, congratulations to your baseball team for sweeping my baseball team.
Yeah, I was like, should I text Mal? I feel really bad, but also not that bad. Like, this is good for my ego. Although we did lose last night to the Diamondbacks, so.
Oh, so did we. We have one singular win that was a no-hitter.
Very impressive. And it was your fifth guy, right? Like, not even like the big kahuna.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm. I don't know what's going on. But during those first 4 games when we were losing violently to the Yankees, I was like, I hate sports. I actually did not miss baseball at all. Baseball season is canceled and we're done.
They were kind of crazy games though. Back and forth a little bit. I think it was good baseball. It wasn't boring. How would I put it that way?
Yeah, they weren't.
Yeah.
So, chapter 1 of Sea of Monsters. My best friend shops for a wedding dress. I do think the chapter titles in this one are excellent.
They're pretty fun. Yeah.
And as far as book openings go, I also think this one is fun. The little dream with Grover in a beach town in Florida. Grover's running for his life. And then I love the way Percy gives us a little catch up on book 1 in case, you know, maybe you just picked up the second one, which actually, fun fact, is what I did with Harry Potter. Because my family only had one copy and my brother and my dad were like reading the first one together. So I was like, I'll start with the second one. So
that's absolutely psychotic.
It's not outside the realm of possibility that someone would do this, but Percy does this little like, oh, Grover's my best friend, he's a satyr, and he and I and this girl Annabeth like went on an adventure last summer. And I'm like, why are you referring to her as this girl Annabeth?
This
like,
girl?
As if she's not also one of your best friends. Justice for Annabeth.
Right. Saved your ass. Come on. Show some respect to our girl.
Thank you. Oh, I've missed you.
I missed you too.
So there's something chasing Grover. He goes into a wedding dress shop, hence the title. That's really all the information that we get from this dream. They don't tell us what's chasing him. Any thoughts from you on the dream?
I gotta be honest, because I was taking contemporaneous notes on my work computer, and because I had the PDF, I did not buy the book. I was too late, and so I used.
Did you use the link I sent you that you were worried was sketchy from the internet? Great.
Yep, absolutely. So I was like taking notes, so I had it up, and I was like, I was really hoping that it was Annabeth. Like just by the title, I was like, oh, I hope he calls Annabeth his best friend. And no, it was about Grover.
Yeah.
That's kind of all I had for about the dream. I have a few other things in the rest of the chapter, but I just come on, Annabeth. I looked at the cover and I was like, I'm gonna write a couple little things about the cover before I even start reading the book.
Oh, what cover does yours have? Because there's like 3 or 4 different ones.
It's the like the outline of a city, which I assumed was Los Angeles at first, because I was like, okay, Los Angeles, like we're going back to the underworld or something there. And then but then I read a little bit in Florida, and I was like, that could be like Miami or something. The sky, I don't know the different skylines other than New York. So there's skyline, and then it's Percy holding his sword. That was kind of the cover I saw.
What? I'm like, what cover is this?
No, look, go back in that PDF, and it has the covers of each thing.
Well, because I own several copies of this book, and that does not sound like any of the ones.
It's in the PDF you sent me. That's the cover I was looking at.
Oh, this like green one with the tagline "Half boy, half god, all hero."
Yeah, also great tagline.
These are like European or something, I think.
Yeah, they are, because some of the spelling is wonky.
Okay, yeah. So that might be Miami. I've been to Miami and I don't know.
Yeah, but I was like palm trees. Also, yeah, half boy, half god, all hero, incredible mid 2000s tagline.
It's excellent.
Right there.
It's cheesy.
Great.
It's perfect. Yeah. Interesting. I didn't even look at that cover. Huh. Wild.
Yeah, I was like, maybe we're going to Florida. That's where the real underworld should start, because Florida's hell.
Because it's Florida.
Yeah.
All right, so the other thing I wanted to point out is that like Percy wakes up and he's like, I think there's a shadow outside, but there couldn't be anyone out on my fire escape, as if he doesn't live in this world of like gods and monsters in which there are things that can fly. Like, how on earth did he survive this 7th grade year outside of camp when he's like, it couldn't be something outside my window? It very much could. It very much could.
Yeah, no common sense at all. Like no survival instinct, it seems. Like he's just I have no idea what it could
like,
be. Probably nothing.
It's something.
Yeah.
And then we also get one of his little classic ominous moments where he's like, even I couldn't mess things up enough to get expelled on my last day. As usual, I didn't know how wrong I was. Like,
yeah, just spelling it out for you.
Sir.
Yeah.
Classic Sally Jackson cooking. She makes blue waffles and blue eggs. And I have some thoughts about the blue eggs because, as you may know, the blue...
Very Dr. Seuss.
Yes, the blue cookies are, a thing, but no matter how much blue food dye you add, they always come out a little bit green because the dough is like yellow in color. And so I'm like, if you are making blue eggs, how are they not green? Like, I feel like
egg whites.
Okay, yeah, maybe, but I'm like, maybe that's why Dr.
Just a carton of egg whites.
That's why Dr. Seuss's book is green eggs and ham and not blue eggs and ham, because yeah, but maybe they're really healthy and it's egg white. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was a really reasonable explanation that I probably should have arrived at on my own.
I used to only eat egg whites that you buy in like the carton.
Yeah.
I was like, that's immediately popped in my head. It's just like, you buy the carton of egg whites. Yeah. Makes sense.
See, I'm not that kind of healthy, so I'm like, give me the yolks.
I mean, it adds minimal. Like you might as well just eat the whole egg. But honestly, having it in a carton is kind of convenient because it's way less messy.
Yeah.
But you do miss out on some of the and you can't
that
make like
true.
jammy eggs. I love jammy eggs.
Yeah. So during this breakfast with the blue, probably egg whites, Sally also kind of tells Percy that, he might not be able to go to camp just yet like he planned, but Sally's like, we can go to this skateboard shop that you like in Rockefeller Center. And as far as I know, that does not actually exist. I've never seen a skateboard shop in Rockefeller Center.
Skate shop, kind of. I guess it's not like a shop, but like you rent skates there.
That's true, but I don't know that you can get like skateboard stuff. I don't know.
No, but it's kind of similar.
Yeah, but then we get another ominous Percy moment in this first chapter because his mom's like, we'll talk later. And he's like, I didn't know it at the time, but my mom and I wouldn't be having our afternoon talk. In fact, I wouldn't be home for a long, long time. Like, sir, way to spoil what's about to happen.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, so much of this chapter is so ominous. Like with I saw a human shadow that belonged to no one, then it rippled and vanished. Like, who do we know that maybe could turn invisible and that could belong to? Like,
yeah. Use our critical thinking skills.
You don't need to go so hard with the drama and the intrigue right now. But, it's I think it's an interesting first chapter. Like, we really jump right into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, anything else on this chapter from you?
I do have a bone to pick. I don't like how he calls it the number two train.
Oh
I'm
my
just
God,
like, I
yes.
hated that. I'm
Yes.
just called the two train. Why are you calling it the number two train? I'm like, you're
Yes.
clearly not from New York or
No,
live there. Like, ugh.
no one has ever called that. Like you're just like, I'm getting on the two. Like you don't even have to say the two train.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna take the
Yeah.
C. I'm gonna take the Q. Like
Exactly.
yeah,
I
very
was
true.
just like, gross.
Also, that
Hated
brings
that.
up so many questions about where they live for me because they were living in the quote unquote Upper East Side, but really it was 104th Street, which is like East Harlem. And the two
Hmm.
train doesn't go to East Harlem, it goes to like Central Harlem. So like maybe they've just like
Yeah.
moved up and over a little bit. Great, whatever. But the problem is, like later in the series, and maybe this is a spoiler, like they're back on the Upper East Side, and I'm like, yeah, you could move again, but like, what was the point of this move?
How many times, realistically, how many times are they moving?
How many times is yeah? So I'm like, what?
Mm,
There's always stuff with the trains for me. I'm like,
that's how you
is
know.
this is
It's very
this
easy to pick out.
ugh train discourse.
Did you see they're trying to do like metal detectors in the subway stations now?
Okay.
And like Fulton. And I'm like, and it like takes like 20 seconds for a person to go through. I was like, you are going to cause the biggest jam ever.
They're gonna try to make us go through like airport security to get on the
That's
subway.
exactly what they're going to try to do. Yeah. Anyway, enough with the New York City discourse. Oh, I had one more thing. This is again, it doesn't really I guess this comment doesn't really matter because it was at the end of the first chapter and then it is completely answered by the when we get to like chapter 3 and 4 or whatever. I was like, just being very cagey
Right.
about camp, Sally, about like, oh, it's not safe to go back there. And I'm like, is there an infiltration? Did the protection like it offered, was it weakened by something? Like, why is it no longer a safe place? It's so crazy. And yeah,
Was
so
it? It's so crazy.
yeah,
Yeah. Good good call on that one.
thanks.
Okay, chapter 2. I play dodgeball with cannibals. One of my favorite chapter titles. I feel like it's excellent. Also, as the person who doesn't like fight scenes, one of my favorite fight scenes as well. Like
Mm.
just so quintessentially like middle school. But first I want to talk about the school that Percy attends because
I have
what
so many thoughts.
what is happening? What is happening? Like I have seen some interesting like unconventional schools, but this is like dangerous and neglectful. Like the way that their English finalists just go out and recreate Lord of the Flies, no supervision, and like chemistry mix chemicals so something explodes. What?
I
What
will
kind of school is
yeah,
this?
this school would not be allowed with No Child Left Behind. I can tell you that right now. No grades, no tests. That's you're not getting any federal funding. I can tell you that right now.
Ugh.
Zero funding.
No, and like this like stresses me. Like I think I'm a very chill like teacher, but this I'm like, oh no.
This is child endangerment.
Someone is going to get hurt because the one thing that like my students know, I'm like, I don't play when it comes to your safety. Like the one thing that I'm gonna get mad at you for if you do something to endanger yourself or endanger others. Like period, the end. And so this I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Also, this new bully character of Matt Sloan, in terms of Percy's mortal schoolyard bullies, I am unimpressed. Where's the pizzazz? Like we were introduced to Nancy Bobbitt when she was throwing peanut butter and ketchup sandwiches at Grover. Like that's unhinged villain behavior. But Matt's just like a rich boy who crashed his dad's car, and
Ugh.
that's lame.
Yeah, I have this written down. Um Also, I will quote, also, fuck Sloan. I hope something bad happens to him and his chipped tooth. That's
Good.
verbatim from my notes.
We also get to know Tyson.
Tyson.
Big Tyson fan. The way that he's described is also kind of wild. Like he's 6'3". Percy's like his face is brutal and hard to look at. He's scared of
Jeez.
everything. Talks like a much younger kid. He's unhoused and living in a cardboard box on 72nd Street. Like
What the hell?
what? And then Sally apparently called and told the school like they're not doing enough to support this kid. Like you're letting this kid leave your school and go live in a box. But the school's like, oh, no one's living in this cardboard box on 72nd Street. Like we can't find this kid. Like that's suspicious. Again,
Yeah.
Percy, you live in this world of gods and monsters. when suspicious things are happening, like you got to start connecting the dots. Like where is Annabeth? I need her to be here, and I need her to come and explain things to Percy.
Yeah.
Like she's the brains of this
She
operation.
really is. Beauty in the brains. And then there's Percy.
And speaking of Annabeth, what is this in Percy's social studies notebook? She emailed him a picture and he printed it out.
Yeah.
He put it in his social studies notebook to remind himself that she's real. This is insane behavior for a 13-year-old boy.
It is.
Like last chapter, he's like, "Oh, me and this girl Annabeth," and this chapter, he's got her photo taped in his notebook.
Very interesting. Yeah.
Like if Perseus had a locket, her picture would be in it, and he would like look at it longingly, like a woman waiting for her husband to return from the war. Like,
oh, that's so romantic. I want someone to have my picture in a locket.
I want someone to print out my picture and put it in their social studies notebook.
Romance is dead.
Because like for a 13-year-old, like that is down bad behavior. Like I have had some simp moments in my day, but like
Yeah.
this is especially wild to me. Like I never engaged in this kind of behavior as a teenager. Like,
no.
whoa.
I can't really talk much about simping though. It's not good. Like, I am a treasure and you do not treat me like that. And why do I put up with this?
But really the bar is, would he print out your picture and put it in his social studies notebook?
Yeah. Yeah. Now I have to think about it. The answer is no,
exactly.
he wouldn't. So
So
I need to
cut
just
him
cut
off.
it off.
Cut him
It's
off.
done. Yeah. I need a guy who's gonna do that. Or a girl.
Exactly.
I need somebody who's gonna do that. Yeah.
Cool. So Matt Sloan, our rich bully boy, is like showing these guys around, and they take the photo and rip it up. And they also call Tyson, like Matt also calls Tyson the R slur. So
I have that. Like, what?
good guy all around. And like,
Ugh.
and so okay, I have 3 different editions of this book because I'm a normal person. And in both like the original version and the kind of newer version where all the like spines come together to make the New York skyline and like the covers come together to make a big picture. It's cool. In those versions it still says that, but in the very newest version, it has been edited out and changed to deadbeat. So it's like your deadbeat friend. And Percy's like, he's not a deadbeat, and I'm like, it
doesn't work.
It doesn't work. Cause like, okay, not to defend the use of that word in this book, but I feel like I have to have a conversation with at least one middle schooler every year. Like, hey, maybe don't use that word. So like
people still use it.
It's accurate. Like it's accurate.
Yeah.
It is accurate to middle school.
And this was written in 2006. So
right.
It's just awkward. Like but it's very on brand for a middle schooler to say, especially a jerk, you know. Like it feels accurate. It's just like it just kind of stinks, you know.
Yeah, it feels it's accurate, but it's like
right. Yeah. Right, yeah.
I do think it's funny that Percy compares his gym teacher to the Oracle, because he's so old. He's like, but my gym teacher's never spewed green smoke as far as I've seen. So I was like, Percy, what are you talking about?
What are you doing? Yeah.
And then it's dodgeball time. Which I already said it, but this is one of my favorite fight scenes just because it's so silly and just so fun. Like we're playing dodgeball with giant flaming cannibals, and all of a sudden the like
I hated dodgeball.
Like this is actually just a regular game of dodgeball. Like sucks just as much.
Yeah.
All of a sudden you've got these like 8-foot giants, and Percy doesn't even have his sword because his pants have no pockets, and like that feels like a flaw in the design of like it feels like the pen should attach itself so like the pen caps have a little like clippy thing, you know?
Yeah.
So it feels like it should like clip on the waistband of his pants or something.
Also, just I feel like a lot of gym shorts have pockets.
So do I. Or you could do like what I used to do in middle school PE.
Drawstring. Right to your drawstring?
Yeah, the drawstring. Or we used to, because our gym shorts were like double layered. But they were like with the seam at the bottom. If you cut a hole up near the waistband, you could like drop stuff in between the layers and it would work like pockets. So that's what we used to do. So we would have pockets in our gym shorts.
Did you go to a public school?
I did go to a public school.
Dang, those fancy gym. We just had these terrible cotton things, and then they didn't want us. They didn't want to spend money on gym clothes anymore, which didn't matter because we still had to purchase them ourselves, but they didn't want to continue making them, so we could eventually just wear whatever shorts we wanted. But they were these terrible like not terry cloth, but like almost
Oh,
terry cloth, like
ew.
Bermuda length shorts. They were awful.
Well, and okay, fun fact, the person who taught me to like make a hole in my shorts like that was actually my friend in middle school who was named Annabeth. Only Annabeth I've ever met or heard of in real life, and like the name predates the books. Like
Yeah,
we were born in the 90s. Like
rare name.
I don't know why I've like met a person named that. Like that's crazy.
It's
Anyway, dodgeball. Tyson gets in the mix. He's able to like catch the dodgeballs, whatever, and love Percy's galaxy brain idea to blow up the boys' locker room with the cannonballs because all that Axe body spray has to be so flammable. Like this is a middle school boy locker room. Like
they don't shower, they use Axe body spray.
exactly. That place is ready to blow. So they blow it up. Percy's able to go in and get his sword. Um, Tyson gets blasted through the wall. Percy goes to kill this giant, but all of a sudden there's someone else already there. Someone beats him to it, and standing there is the girl we've been looking for, Annabeth,
Mm-hmm.
and love her. She slays.
Great entrance.
Great entrance. And she looks rough, like she's had a bad time getting to the city, and she punches Matt Sloan right in the face, which girl boss. I love that.
Girls. Icon.
Percy is like the damsel in distress here. Like
Yeah.
he doesn't do anything in this like fight scene. It's all Tyson and Annabeth. Like Percy
Mm-hmm.
basically blows up the locker room and gets his sword, and that's it.
He doesn't even really get his sword because it slides toward the monster. It's like at the monster's feet, I think.
Oh yeah, I think you're right.
So he doesn't even get it. He's a loser.
Yeah, so really like Percy doesn't do
No.
much in this fight. And you know, he gets real embarrassed when he realizes that like Annabeth was on his fire escape looking into his room this morning.
Ooh.
But you know, we don't have time to talk because we gotta go because Percy's about to
Yeah.
get blamed for blowing up the gym and
Mm-hmm.
he's gonna get expelled again. So anything else on dodgeball fight scene or this chapter?
Just two of my least favorite things. One, dodgeball. Hated dodgeball in gym class. We would play in the old wrestling, not old, it was the wrestling room because it was all padded. And one, it smelled so bad in there because it was the wrestling room in the basement of the high school. And two, I'm like, the rule is you don't throw at someone's head, right? That's you don't,
Yeah.
yeah, you get like you're out if you throw at someone's head. Well, that rule apparently never really applied. And I would wear my glasses in gym class because I couldn't freaking see. And I was like, if someone breaks my glasses, I'm going to go psycho. Like I hated any team
As you
sport
should.
in gym class, honestly. I was like, someone just hit me with the ball so I can go sit down. I hate dodgeball. And then of course, other least favorite thing is cannibals. So oh, also, I wanted to note that I loved that he named two of the cannibals before we knew they were cannibals. It was their fake names were Skull Eater and Marrow Sucker. And then I was like, oh, they're cannibal. Like those are the cannibals. Like it's like, come on, Rick.
Again, Percy, take a hint for once in your life.
Yeah.
But then again, middle school boys are just like that. Like middle school boys.
High school boys. Boys. They're just like that.
Yeah.
Until they're like 30. If you're lucky.
So really, I guess we can't blame him too much for that one because I'm like, you know, I do know a middle school boy or two who absolutely would have some kind of nonsense on his name tag. So, you know, it's fine. Cool. So, chapter 3, we hail the taxi of eternal torment.
That's what I call the New York City bus.
100%. I'd rather walk a mile
Terrible.
than take the bus. And that's what I do every morning. So, Annabeth is kind of in her racist era here because she does not like Tyson at all. And Percy's mad that she's being so rude because she's like, oh, he can talk. And when he calls her pretty, she's like, ew, gross. And
yeah, it's kind of mean.
Annabeth is surprised that the Lastragonians or those giant guys would attack with Tyson around. And Percy's like, Annabeth, I have no idea what you're saying. And Annabeth, she's like, oh, they're these giants that like Odysseus met in the north. And, you know, and Percy's like, okay, but what? And she asks if Percy's been having dreams. And she's been having different, not Grover dreams about trouble at camp. So they're like, we have to go to camp immediately. And she also says monsters have been chasing her since she left Virginia. And once again, I have to ask, where is her father? Like, you wanted her to come home, and then you made your 13-year-old travel to New York on her own? Make it make sense.
I totally forgot about that. That she went home with her dad at the end of the first book.
Yeah.
Yeah, where the hell is
Yeah.
he?
She went home, and then I'm like, surely he could have driven you up. Surely he could have bought you a train ticket. Like, and I can't remember if she gives us more information about her trip from Virginia to New York, but
It seems like she was attacked by monsters along the
yeah.
way.
So,
So did she leave home because there was like a threat? Like, did another monster attack happen, or is that not clear?
well, I assume she left home because like she's been having dreams
Uh-huh.
about camp being in
Uh-huh.
trouble, and so she left because she's like, I have to get to camp.
Yeah.
So then I'm like, did she run away again? Like, does her dad not know that she was leaving?
I don't know.
And
Yeah.
I maybe she explains this later in the book because
Mhm.
I keep doing this where I'm like, what is this? And then I am like, oh, right. They explain this.
Yeah.
Um, so I'm like, I feel like I can't trash her dad too much because maybe there's a reasonable explanation for this that's coming that I have
Mm.
forgotten, but I don't know. Percy also explains the whole Greek god thing to Tyson, and Tyson kind of acts like he already knows all this, but he's real confused by Percy being the son of the sea god. And Annabeth gets out her little drachma and calls for the chariot of damnation to stop, and this smoky gray taxi appears out of a pool of bubbling red liquid, and Percy's like, it looks kind of like blood. Yeah, they say they don't take Tyson's kind, and Mr. Ride or Die for his friends Jackson is like, why is everyone being so mean to Tyson?
Poor Tyson.
Because he's still like, poor Tyson, but also Percy, like, catch
Come on, come on.
catch a hint.
Like you're yeah, get it together.
There's been enough clues. And Annabeth offers them extra drachmas, like 3 more drachmas on arrival. And I can't remember if we've had this conversation, but I need to know like what is a drachma worth? Because it costs 1 drachma to like make a phone call, but then it also costs 1 drachma to summon this taxi. And like those are things that cost vastly different amounts of money in real life.
Right. Yeah.
And then like 3 more drachmas to take tight like
Well, I thought I was very confused at that point because I thought it was like, oh, I still have one left. And then she promises them 3 more. I was like, I thought you only had one
yeah,
drachma left.
that is true. I
But she doesn't end up paying them
I'm
anyway.
not I'm not sure if she was planning on paying them or if she was hoping that they could get to camp and like borrow some drachmas from somebody to be like,
Uh,
let us pay this taxi.
yeah.
I don't know.
It's gonna ride and dash.
Because she does say three more drachmas on arrival. Maybe she was hoping that,
Yeah.
or maybe Annabeth is a thief. We could be. I support women's wrongs. um yeah, so this taxi is driven by the Grey sisters who share 1 eye and 1 tooth, which wild, much to unpack there.
Yep.
And there's lots of unsafe driving happening. Like it says they go like 70 miles per hour on the Williamsburg Bridge. Like that's
Insane.
wild. And that is coming from me who once totaled a car by driving into a parked truck. So lots of unsafe driving happening here too. So
I'm a great driver. I just can't I am very bad at parking. Like I will go the speed limit and very like not any faster. You can honk at me all you want. I'm listening to Sabrina Carpenter in my car. I cannot hear you. Like I don't care. So people should not have licenses, including these I don't what do you call them?
the Gray
The
sisters.
Gray
I mean, that's
Sisters?
just the name of their taxi.
Yeah.
They have another name in mythology, I think, but Gray Sisters.
Yeah,
That's
let's
this
go
is
with
the
that.
taxi company. Yeah. So Percy's like, we're gonna die. And Annabeth's like, no, they know what they're doing. They're really wise. Like being wise does not equate to
Yeah.
driving skills. And they're like, yes, yes, we know things, including the location that you seek, but they can't tell him because the last time they told someone their eye got tossed into a lake and it took them forever to find. And I think this is a reference to Perseus, like the Greek hero, not Perseus Jackson, because he managed to steal their eye and use it to get information, either like how to find the objects he needed to kill Medusa, or they gave him the location of Medusa. Depends on the story, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And I did Google this because I wasn't sure what they were referencing, because they also talked about Jason being in their cab, and I was wondering if like maybe in mythology they had given Jason information for his quest, because that would be kind of on theme for this book, but I couldn't find any reference to them helping Jason, so that's not what that was. But yeah, it was just like, interesting.
Yeah.
Another reference to Perseus slaying Medusa. And just like his namesake, our Perseus manages to get the eye, and he threatens to throw it out the window into traffic unless they give him the location. So they tell him 30, 31, 75, 12. And also, I'm pretty sure somewhere in this process, Tyson pukes in Annabeth's backpack.
Yeah.
As if she didn't already dislike Tyson, because he like starts to get car sick and Percy's like, Annabeth, give him your backpack. And so I'm like, oh, that doesn't like
Ugh.
that doesn't feel like step one to solve that problem. Like,
Have you ever tried to puke out a moving car window? It doesn't really work.
no. Have you?
No. But like I've seen it. And it just really goes all along the side. And you really have to make sure the window's down first.
This is horrifying. Ugh. All right. Yeah, so then into the chapter, they pull up to camp and they see a group of campers that's under attack on the hill, and that's it. That's chapter 3. So, thoughts from you on chapter 3?
Let's see. Tempest, is that what one of them is called or what all of them are called? I just remember the name. I wrote Tempest.
One of them is Anger, one of them is Wasp.
Okay.
One of them
Says
is Tempest.
Percy's looking for like the location you seek, because they're like, we're not going to tell you, but that's all we're going to tell you. And then the numbers. And I was like, is this an address? Is it GPS coordinates? And I did look it up because I was like, I want to know. And it's the Bermuda Triangle.
Interesting.
So I love the Bermuda Triangle. I love the conspiracies about it. I think it's so interesting. But yeah, I was just like, make a note of this. And then I looked it up and I was like, oh, it's Bermuda Triangle. That feels right. Feels right. Like that's where they're going. Because I know that this is a boat book, even though 4 chapters in, there's no boat. So it's not a boat book.
Oh yeah, because Sydney told you that.
Yeah. There's no boat yet. This is not a boat book because 4 chapters in, no boat.
There is no boat yet.
Not a boat book.
Exactly. Thank you. It's not a boat book yet. Honestly, I don't think it's really that much of a boat book. I think Sydney's prejudices are
clouding her judgment.
Exactly. All right. Yeah, so Bermuda Triangle, could mean something.
Yeah.
Could be. Anything else for chapter 4?
That's all I got.
All right. Chapter 4. Tyson plays with fire. So, the campers that are on the hill being attacked by bronze bulls that breathe fire. A real good time. Especially because, oh no, they shouldn't be able to get past the tree because of the magic borders. And Clarice is the one leading the fight. And Percy, takes the time to explain to us that, like, Clarice and I, we have beef. And then he goes to help Clarice. And Annabeth says that they need Medea's sunscreen 50,000 SPF, which...
Yeah, I was like, I need to get me some of that for this summer. Like, where do I find this?
Dang it, that's the joke I was going to make. I was going to be like, you need some of this.
We just connected, Mel. We're connected.
But also, this is like a mythological thing, because this is a reference to Jason, like the hero, and his little adventures. Because he fought these bulls, and when he did
Jason and the Golden Fleece, is that it?
When he
okay
did this, he fought these bulls, and Medea gave him this ointment stuff to protect him from the flames with the bulls. And I just think Jason and Medea are so fun, because they were like together, they had these 2 sons, then he got engaged to someone else, and so she killed the new girl and her own sons to get back at him. Like, I support women's wrongs, because that is messy. That is just no notes. And also,
I gotta be honest, every time I hear Medea, I think of Tyler Perry's
right.
Medea.
That too.
That's what I'm picturing in my head.
But also, I think Jason is really fun as a hero, because, like, you've got, like, Orpheus, Theseus, Perseus, like, those are Greek hero names, and Jason is just the name of some guy. Like,
some white guy.
Like, that's just a normal name. I love it. Anyway, so fight scene, they're losing, whatever. So Annabeth has to, like, give Tyson permission to go through the camp's boundaries so he can help. And somehow he doesn't get burned by the bulls. Again, Percy, I am begging you, take a singular hint.
So clueless.
Once they defeat the bulls, Annabeth finally gets him to look at Tyson, and Percy finally learns that Tyson is a Cyclops. Because one thing about Percy, he is going to befriend a mythological creature at school. First Grover, now Tyson.
Yes. On brand.
And Annabeth also says Cyclops, or the plural of Cyclops is Cyclopes, which
I don't like that.
feels weird. I don't like that
Yeah.
either. Um, so more than one Cyclops. Cyclopes are mistakes that nobody wants. Children of nature, spirits, and the gods, and like
So mean.
that's mean. She's being so mean.
So mean.
So did you have any sort of guess as to like what Tyson was? Because I feel like it's very clear that he's not.
I thought he was gonna be a werewolf because he was hairy. And he had like scars on his back. I don't know. I was just like, werewolf. Yeah, like it's Twilight or something. I was like, why did I think werewolf?
I love that. I love that so much.
But I was like, yeah, he's just hairy. Yeah, so and then I was like, that has nothing to do with Greek mythology. That's a stupid guess, but that's what I thought. Well, I originally said, is he a half-blood in the chapter 2? Because I was like, he's obviously like has some powers, but then yeah, I said Tyson is completely hairy and he's got weird scars on his back. Is he a werewolf or something? And then I like wrote Tyson is not a werewolf, but a cyclops.
A werewolf is a good guess. That's a good guess.
No werewolf. Thank you. Thanks. I was like, he's odd.
He's not a
he's
person.
Not human, clearly.
So Annabeth's like,
No.
we'll take him to Chiron. Chiron will know what to do. But Clarice informs them that Chiron has been replaced by this dude Tantalus because, dun dun dun, the magical borders of camp are failing because Talia's pine tree is dying because someone poisoned it.
Heartbreaking. Why would you do that?
Heartbreaking.
Absolutely heartbreaking.
Well, I mean, it's like, okay, I understand why you would do it because
Yeah.
obviously, you're trying to get the camp borders down, but like,
it's like a memorial tree. Like it's horrible.
Exactly. I'm like, that's all that's left of her. Like,
yeah, you're killing her again.
So now we're really cooking. Like, I feel like this one really gets going quicker than the Lightning Thief did. Like, it took a long time to get kind of to the action, but this is like right away.
Yes.
And I feel like this is a chapter ending that is just like begging to be read out loud to a class of children. Like, did you ever have teachers in school who would like read a chapter book to you out loud and it would end on like a big moment like this, and then they'd be like, that's all we have time for, and the class would be like, what? No, read more. Because I like vividly remember some of those moments in elementary school, like being like, no, like so into reading. And I feel like Rick Riordan does a good job of including some of those like chapter endings that are like, so what's happening? Like, the tree's been poisoned.
I don't know. I don't remember any of that as like a teacher thing or as a book thing, but and please cut this. But it totally reminded me of we used to watch with my dad, like 3 of us girls would watch. We'd have DVD nights like when we were younger. And we'd all be downstairs and we'd watch the original Charlie's Angels, which I actually have in my bed right now because I had it playing.
Incredible.
But we would watch like episodes and we'd watch like 2 maybe because we were like 10 and it's like, okay, you need to go to bed. But we'd watch like the first part of a 2-part episode and be like, no, we have to stay up and watch the next one. And he'd be like, no, we gotta wait till next weekend or whatever. And I was like, oh, so just when you said that, it brought back that nice little memory I have of DVD nights with our dad.
That's cute. You want me to cut that?
I don't want people to know I have tender moments. I'm really hot. That's all I want the viewers to know.
That's fair.
The viewers, listeners.
That's fair.
You can leave it if you want.
Yeah. So any thoughts, any predictions, like who poisoned the tree? I don't know.
I want to say it's like Luke because we're not done with him yet. So that feels like although I feel like he wouldn't poison Dahlia's tree because I feel like he would feel really bad about that.
I mean, that is his oldest friend, so.
Yeah. But I don't really think he has a strong moral compass. So could be swayed or he's being brainwashed maybe. But I want to blame it on Luke because I hate that guy.
Fair and valid.
And I was like, I don't really have another villain at this point. I don't know who else it could be at this point.
That is true.
But I don't
really have another villain.
I have some predictions. I've got a whole list of predictions and some chapters.
So, predictions.
So one, some of these are just questions I have.
Okay.
One is, where's Chiron? Because he reached out to Percy's mom to like let her know that there's trouble at camp and they're supposed to talk about it, but he's no longer the activities director. This new guy is. Like, where the hell did Chiron go? I want to know. Percy's dream. Grover is obviously fighting a monster and wanted to warn, but I'm assuming both Annabeth and Percy, because he's like, I have to warn them. I have to warn them. So I'm interested to see. I'm glad Grover's coming back, first of all. He survived his, I don't know if he found what is it, Pangea? Is that what it was called?
It's the continent.
No, it's not. That's the thing, but I always associated it with Pangea. Yeah. I don't know.
It's just Pan. It's just Pan.
I was just like, yeah, that reminds me of Pangea. That's the connection I made in my head. So I was like, yeah, he's looking for Pangea. He's gonna have to go back a few million.
Grover is looking to connect all the continents together again.
He's gonna have to time travel to do that one. Okay. And I was like, is it the same monster? What was that monster that Luke was serving, like in the depths of the underworld or whatever that thing?
Oh, Kronos.
Kronos, yes. But I guess that doesn't really make sense. Okay, and then I have my guesses, I guess, for the
upcoming chapters.
Yes. So chapter 5, I get a new cabin mate. I'm guessing Percy meets a fellow offspring of Poseidon, because the cabins are supposed to be organized by the children of the gods, right?
Yes, they are.
So he's going to meet a brother or sister or sibling, or he's gonna let Tyson just stay with him. But I think he's going to meet a fellow sibling, because I think there's another. I did skip ahead a little bit and look at the other chapters, and there's something about fighting with his family or something. So I'm presuming he finds a sibling or something.
Interesting.
Half sibling. Chapter 6, Demon Pigeons Attack. It's a great title. I don't really have a prediction for this one because it seems pretty self-explanatory, but I really hope that the pigeons like dive bomb them, like seagulls do when you have like food around. Like they'll like try to. So at the zoo, right? We have a zoo here,
right?
And one of their big things is funnel cake. And so these seagulls would dive bomb you to scare you away from your food and steal it while you were like running away from these birds dive bombing you. So that's what I want these pigeons to do, because I think it'd be fun.
Yeah, honestly, that's a good idea.
Yeah, the seagulls are very smart. They like they will dive bomb you to get you away from. Yeah. Crows too. Crows are very smart. They would do it too, but
right.
Yeah. And then chapter 7, I accept gifts from a stranger. This one is very vague, I will say. It is. Very vague. Maybe Percy gets a new weapon. I don't know. I think it'd be fun if we gave him a gun or something.
Okay. Prediction, Percy gets a gun.
Yeah, I want Percy to get a gun. That's what I've got.
Fantastic. Well, excellent. I am excited to read more of this one. I really like this book. I know that's sometimes controversial, but I think this one is fun.
It was a quick read, the 4 chapters. Very quick. I was kind of surprised. I finished it before I went on my lunch break, because I was like, oh, I'm gonna have to do it on like my lunch, because I hadn't started it before this morning.
Well, this one has a similar, because I think there's 20 chapters and there were 22, I think, in the Lightning Thief.
Yeah, that's
and this is like 100 pages shorter.
Wow.
So they're real short chapters.
Yeah.
It's good. They go quick. It moves.
And... Yeah.
All right. I'm like, is there anything else we need to talk about? I'm so glad you're back. I'm glad that we get to dive back in.
I'm glad I came back. I was like, it's like, oh, I have to read another book. But this one is actually, I'm enjoying it. And again, I got very jealous at the thought of you doing this with somebody else. So I was like, no.
You're like, absolutely not.
No. Yeah, we're not. No. I'm coming back. I don't care how many books I have to read. This is me and Mal's thing.
Yes.
I don't even care if the listeners are like, oh, I can't believe Julie came back. Like, I'd rather listen to her other friends. Sorry, you guys are stuck with me because I am a jealous and possessive friend, and this is the only time I see Mal now.
I know. That's so sad. I was like, yeah, I will still talk, but then just
life happens, you know?
Life, yeah.
Like, it's busy.
Yeah. So I'm glad we have this time, and I'm glad we get to talk about chapters 5 through 7 next week. Possibly with another guest. So
ooh, okay.
Hi, thanks for listening. We've got more Sea of Monsters content coming for the next few weeks with some awesome repeat guests and also some fresh voices. But in the meantime, you can find us on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter at DemigodDebutPod. See you next time. Bye!